Hi guys, this is Palak Sharma, your educator at an academy, and welcome back to the course on mastering polite conversations. So this course, I hope it has been doing good to you till now. You have been learning new things, new ways in which you can sound polite to people. Of course, you will be building better relationships and you will be bettering your old relationships and making new ones also with this polite ambience that you will now provide. Till now, I guess you are done with all those six principles, the three golden rules of being a polite person. And also, we have took a break. We've already taken a break, and we have done this kind of change of pattern. We have done five common phrases that we can always use while we are conversing. So this is it. This is what we did. Now the next thing which comes up in our list is practicing the actual situations in which we need polite conversations. So today's situation is going to be complaining politely. Before we start, you can read a few things about me in the slide. And if you like this course, do rate, review, recommend, and share it with your friends, with your family. Also, if you like my course, you can follow me on Unacademy. This is my link and this is me. So before we go on and study how do we complain, why do we complain, we should first know why complaining is important or not important. So Stephen Hawking said, people won't have time for you if you are always angry and complaining or complaining. So in this case, if still like without complaining we cannot make our work done. So in this case, when complaining becomes a necessity and we know that we are making people irritated if we are complaining, then there's one way in which we can complain also and still remain in the good books of people, and that is by complaining politely. So we've got some phrases here, we've got some expressions which we can use to express and complain politely in a very polite manner. So the first one which we have got is I'm sorry to bother you. Now it has a lot of uses. You can always say, you can always use it. I mean, you can say I'm sorry to bother you, but this thing is hurting me. Your bag is hurting my leg. I'm sorry to bother you, but your towel is kept on my bed. So this is like you're still complaining, but still you've used the phrase I'm sorry. So you've reduced the weight of the sentence. You've reduced the rudeness of the sentence to a great extent, and people are not going to sound offended if you are going to say I'm sorry to bother you and then the rest of your complaint. The next way to say is can you help me with this? So if you have a complaint with someone about something, then you can always include him or her in the same task too. For suppose if you are not very comfortable with a person who is intruding you again and again about something, then you can ask him to be a part of the same thing about which he is giving you suggestions. So in that case, you do not even have to complain. You just have to include him or her, and then he'll be as much a part of this thing about which he's complaining or interrupting as you are. The next phrase which we have is I'm afraid there may be a misunderstanding. So in case somebody is not going good with the flow, you find some flaw in what he's doing, then you should say I'm afraid there might be a misunderstanding. So in this way, you're also complaining about the thing which he's doing wrong, but yet you are not sounding rude. You're not sounding as if you are angry at him. You are sounding as if you are yourself concerned that something bad is happening that you are not sure of. So the next way in which you can again express your complaining problems is when you say I understand it's not your fault. So in this case, when you know that the person who in front of you, he is not doing the thing correctly and you want to complain, then you can always take away the blame for him, because in that way you will not make him lose his face. You are upholding his public image, public positive image, and still you are mentioning his fault. So you can say I understand it's not your fault, but this line is crooked. So if somebody is painting a line on the walls, painting a pattern on the walls, and you see that the pattern is not coming out as expected, it's not coming out symmetrically, then you can say I understand it's not your fault, the light is not proper, but still can you draw straight lines? So that will add up to the impact, showing that you are empathizing with that person, you are sympathizing with that person, and yet you will prove your point of the complaint also. So it will be polite, it will be to the point as well. Next phrase which we've got is excuse me, but I understood that whatever your complaint is. So suppose if somebody explained you some theory of economics wrongly, and then you know the right theory, so you can say excuse me, but I understood that the theory should be this way. So you can express what you think about the theory, what is actually correct. So in this way, you'll also be pointing out what's wrong in his theory, and you can also it will also seem as if you are sharing what you know. So in this case, nobody will be demeaned, nobody will be belittled. Everyone stands on the same pedestal when you are expressing your views also. The next type of terms which we have got is, we got a lot of list here out here, and you can choose out of them which one you can use for complaining. There are a lot of them. I'm sorry to say this, but whatever your complaint is, I'm afraid I've got a complaint about. Excuse me, I'm afraid. Look, I'm sorry to trouble you, but this thing is not working. I have a complaint to make. There seems to be a problem with this bulb. Would you mind helping me, or would you mind correcting yourself? Would you mind sitting straight? Then you can say, do you think you could change your posture because that is troubling me? I wonder if you could help me and sit more straight. You can say, I want to complain about, but then again, this is less polite. You can say, sorry to bother you, but this tube light, can you just put it off? Then, I hate to tell you, but I cannot do this. I cannot bear this light which is coming from your room, so please switch it off. You can say it that way. I hate to tell you. You can say, you can use it of course this way also. Excuse me, but there's a problem with you sitting this way. Then there are a lot of ways in which you can express that somebody is not sitting nicely, who's sitting next to you, their legs are touching you, their shoes are poking you. So you can complain about it, but still in a very cordial manner, and you can check out of these ways which one is proper to use when you are facing a kind of problem in which you want to complain and you do not know the right way to complain politely. You do not want to change the relationship between you people. You do not want to get cold, yet you do not want to leave that complaint unspoken. So in this case, you can use any out of these polite ways to express that you are not feeling good, you're not feeling okay with something that the other person is doing to you. So just complain. Of course, complaining is bad, but still you need to put up your voice sometimes. So in this case, your voice should be polite. It shouldn't sound rude and harsh to people who are listening to it. So I guess this is pretty much everything for today, and thank you. Do rate, review, recommend, and share this lesson as much as you can. Also see if you can share it on social media platforms, in educational forums, as I mentioned. And do write your feedback, your comments, your queries in the comment section below. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Have a nice day.